Please welcome to the stage Kristina Zahorik with ILDCCA.
Hello, and welcome. Even though you've heard this from so many folks, I think, it's the first time I get to say it. I'm Kristina Zahorik. I'm the first woman president of the Illinois Democratic County Chairs Association. I'm also chair of the Democratic Party in McHenry County, and I know I have some of my folks here today. I also sit on the state party as one of its vice chairs, representing the 14th Congressional District. And let me give you just a quick little synopsis background about the structure. So you have the DNC, which is the national level. Most of you know that. They have branches that work on their campaigns for the House and the Senate. There's a bunch of other kind of organizations that also kind of fill in, including the state parties. They are autonomous and separate. Then we also have our state parties in all 50 states. They also have entities and organizations that work to elect candidates at the Illinois General Assembly level and statewide. Those are also autonomous. Then we have, in Illinois, we have our county parties. Every single 102 counties in the state of Illinois has a county party, and that structure is also different to some degree. Each is autonomous. They have their own bylaws. They have their own funding sources. Outside of Cook County, each of those county parties elect precinct committee persons to their county party structure, as well as other entities as well. Side in favor of either because we don't have enough volunteers, or it's been left to rely on the county the county clerks to make those appointments. And it's a mistake, because as I travel around the state talking to my county parties, what I'm seeing is soft voter suppression. That's the only thing I can call it. It's either because of inadequate training by the county chairs, many of whom are on the other side of the aisle, and the election judges don't have the agency, or are not really Democrats, but they're just appointed as such because there's not enough people to fill that role. And it's imperative, I think, that we go back to these kind of basic functions in order to make sure that our democracy and our elections and the integrity is there. Another key role that is filled by volunteers in the party are poll watchers. And poll watchers, the IDCCA and our county parties give training to these individuals. They're not always lawyers, they're just regular folk who have the training, who are going into the polling place on election day and observing. What I will say about the poll watchers in particular is in my county, McHenry County, we had several poll watchers out in 2018. And we were concerned, and I say that, I say concerned, we were really alarmed, frankly, about what we were seeing happening in our polling places, and even more so in this last cycle in 2019. Just as a quick example, there were a couple of things that we saw happen. There were people that were given the wrong ballot styles when they were voting. Kind of a big deal. People left off the ballot. People listed twice running for different offices. We had an instance on election day, meaning on April 2nd, our clerk came out to certain polling places to put up corrected language about a referendum. That the only people that got to vote on that corrected language were people that actually got the paper ballot, not people that were voting electronically. So while these things seem kind of shocking, and they should, they're not unique. And that's the message I want to tell you, because again, if we have people, eyes in the room on the ground, that's how we know when things are going off kilter. And it requires engagement and involvement at that local level. So again, while we are telling people to go run for office, all that is great and good, and thank God Joyce Mason stepped up to be part of our supermajority over in the House, but there's other positions that are equally important for people to fill and to be a part of within the party structure. The IDCCA is here to recruit and to train and support these efforts. We have a boot camp coming up on May 17th through the 19th in Springfield. So if you're interested in candidate training, staff training, or in these other kind of party building positions, we're here to help train you. There's no cost for you to attend. You just have to get down there and get a room, although we do have a bank of rooms set aside at less cost. And you need to let us know either through idcca.org or go through your county party chair and get signed up for that particular event. And as you know, it takes many layers this election cycle to be successful. And again, while I encourage you to work with your local Democratic Party, I understand that not everyone is willing or able or ready to make that commitment to their local party. So I would encourage you then to find a sister organization, whether it's an indivisible, people over party, ABT, any one of those organizations. Work with if you're with labor, work with your local labor organization. If you are more interested in a particular issue, then work with an issue organization, whether it's Sierra Club, Personal PAC, or something like that. Or just work within your own network and your own family to get out that vote and to actually engage in a real way on those issues that are concerning to you. And frankly, most folks seem to be understanding that they do have, it's okay to talk about politics, right? And we saw, again, how those layering of activism actually propelled us to that blue wave victory. And I would also challenge those folks here that are vendors. We have to start thinking of our county parties as the candidate, right? Just not these kind of old school organizations and entities, because they need you too. Folks that are not just PCs or election judges or poll watchers, but we need people to step up to actually help with promoting the party and those values through web development, through working out mailings and staffing the offices or working in parades or whatever the case may be. There's a space there for everyone. And I would challenge, again, those vendors to not just look at candidates and supporting and helping candidates, but also helping and supporting your local parties as well. We're in the middle of a momentous movement and events, but this is our time and our movement, I feel. We weren't asked to step up when we went to war a couple of Bushes ago. I believe we were just told to go shop. So if we're not stepping up now, when will you? And I think a lot of people have been motivated to step up, right? It's just finding where that niche is. And the other side, I think, is going to point to the recent municipal race and say that the blue wave is over. My county only had, I think, less than 10% turnout. But I will tell you that of the 144 offices that were up for election, we as the Democratic Party in my county identified about 101 candidates that were on our side of the aisle, and of those, 80 won their elections, including me. And the other side is going to hope that we tire, that we become fatigued, that we become distracted, that we fall to squabbling amongst ourselves, and that it's important to remember, we all know this in this room, that our democracy, small d, is under attack. There's a program afoot to disenfranchise us, to undereducate us, and to steal our rights to health care, to a safe work environment, and to a safe road, to safe environment in general, or even to safe food. And we will stay focused. I know that because, again, we have so many people like NewFounders and those of you in this room who are now engaged and ready to actually step up and do something. We will retain our wins. We'll keep Joyce, right? We'll gain ground. We'll get Trump out. And we will make sure that those Democrats that we elected that want to enact the policies that we all care about will have the tools and the support that they need in order to get the job done if you engage with your local party and with your local community. Thank you.